Welcome to Bullet to Table. My name is Joe, and today I'm going to be talking about the 300 Blackout, a caliber that I think is wildly misunderstood due to its versatility and different use cases, and also a little bit because of the history and the way it was developed. I'm going to talk today about one of the guns, which is one of my favorite guns that I shoot, and why the 300 Blackout I think is one of the ultimate all-around calibers if you just had one caliber to pick from. First up, let's talk a little bit about the gun I'm using today. This is an RA15-C. It's made by a French company called RDS Industries. They make silencers and suppressors for the French military, and they also make custom AR-15s. Now, as we're in France, this AR-15 is a little different because I'm just on a simple hunting license here. So that means it has to be a manual rearmament. So it's got straight pull action, but otherwise everything else is exactly like you expect in an AR-15. And this gun is one of the guns I shoot the most, partly because I love the caliber so much, but also because the gun itself is great. Very, very accurate. It's probably the most accurate gun I have, besides maybe my 308. And it's customized in a few different configurations. I'm going to explain them in a moment. So first up, I have mounted on the top a red dot. You're going to see in the footage later I'm using an LPVO, which I had mounted. That was a Vortex 1-8. But on this one today, I've just got a Vortex prism scope, which is very interesting. I think it's a little better than a red dot because you don't rely on batteries. If your batteries die, you still have the reticle intact, so you can continue shooting. You just don't have the illumination. Highly recommended if you're going to be shooting a lot with AR-15. I mounted this red dot just because I like to shoot out a little bit further distances and try to test myself a bit. But otherwise, I recommend using an LPVO 1-8 magnification for this gun and this caliber. So let's talk about the gun itself. Again, very classic kind of AR-15 setup, as you would expect. I've got a double sling on here, mounted a flashlight, Odin flashlight on the side, so very easy to get to. It's got key mod rail, aluminum, so it's very light. This is a very light gun when it comes to AR-15s, very light. The cannon is Bergara chrome in a 1/8 inch twist, which is perfect for the 300 Blackout caliber. I've customized a bit with some pins from Strike Industries, just like them, the red pins, and also the trigger, the mag release here. So then you've also got, I've mounted some iron sights on here. Not really necessary because I have a prism, but I just like to have them on there anyway. I've got some Fab Defense buttstock, Fab Defense handguard, and overall it's just a very, very comfortable gun, very light, very well balanced, and it has a threaded barrel as well. Threaded barrel is extremely important. If you're going to buy a rifle with 300 Blackouts, you definitely want to make sure the barrel is threaded and that you can mount a suppressor. I haven't seen yet any 300 Blackouts that don't have threaded, but you never know. Make sure you do get one that's threaded because you're going to want to mount a suppressor on 300 Blackout simply because that way you can take advantage of the full versatility of the round. So in a minute we're going to go out and shoot with the gun. I'm going to show you just some simple shooting from 50 yards. I'm going to be using the Fiocchi subsonic rounds today. But later I'm going to do a few more videos with more rounds because the 300 Blackout is so versatile. It really deserves several videos just to show you the different things you can do with it. So what can you do with it? Definitely you can use it for hunting. It's a powerful round and it can take down medium to large game being here in Europe, not for something like an elk or a moose if you're in the States, but definitely can take down wild boars, hogs, and deer without any trouble. This ammo here is the Winchester Winchester 150 grain hunting for deer season. I've got some Hornady FDX in 135 grain, fantastic round, very hard hitting. And the Hornady Black, which is obviously built for the Black Rifle platform. These are 110 grain varmint rounds, but they're actually a lot more powerful than you might expect, and you can take down hogs with these no trouble. So hunting, definitely a use case. I'm going to do a video on all the different types of hunting ammo I have a few more rounds. But then you can also use this in subsonic. Subsonic is the heavier bullets, and you can use this for like very small game, but I wouldn't use it for hunting, definitely not. Maybe something very small like a fox, short range or something, but not for hogs, not for deer, no way. But it suppresses beautifully. It's 200 grains, 208 grains, most of the ammo that you'll find in subsonic. And when you mount up a suppressor on this, it's absolutely beautiful to shoot. It's so quiet, it's almost movie quiet. Obviously, it's not that, but it's really, really quiet. I mean, you'd be amazed how quiet this gun is when you're shooting subsonic rounds. So you can also use it for target shooting. If you're using, obviously you can do like some sort of plinking with the subsonic rounds. I'd say this is very equivalent to having like a 45 ACP in a rifle. That's obviously its closest comparison in terms of subsonic, in terms of the power it's got. I'm going to put up some ballistics on screen about the subsonics and versus the supersonics, because there's a huge difference. And that's where people get a little bit confused with 300 Blackout, or maybe underestimate 300 Blackout, because most of the talk about it is using suppressed subsonic rounds, which are less powerful. Now, they were designed after the, I believe it was around the time of the Iraq Wars, where they noticed they're doing a lot of urban combat and a lot of close range fighting. And they just wanted something that hit a little bit harder than the 5.56, which is what the military are using. I have here some 222 Remington, which is in the category C that I'm in France. That's the closest I have to the 5.56. 5.56 is just a tiny bit bigger and more powder, and it's a bit more powerful. Otherwise, it's very similar round. You can check out my video on the 222. I have another rifle here in the 222 Remington. Just again, very interesting gun to have. So that's the 222 Remington, close enough to a 5.56. And this is your 300 Blackout. So you'll notice that the length is about the same, the final length, but the size of the bullet is way, way bigger. And that's because it's a 30 caliber. So it's got the same bullet as your 308. If you take a 308, which is obviously a much longer case because it has much more powder, much more powerful round, but the actual bullet size is identical. It's the same bullet. Just basically the 300 Blackout is like you could say a shortened 308. So what that means is it gives it a lot of power in the same size cartridge as the 5.56 or 222 in this case. So you'll see I can put both rounds in the same magazine. This is a standard PMag magazine, and I can fit a 300 Blackout, and I can also fit my 222. Same magazine. Obviously, don't do this because your barrel is not designed for shooting that. So if you shoot a lot of like 5.56 and 300 Blackout, I do suggest you like label your magazines or keep them separately or something, because you really do not want to put a 300 Blackout magazine into a 222 or vice versa. That's just asking for trouble. but they were designed to fit in the same magazines so that they didn't have to do a huge change on the actual gun itself. All the military had to do was simply switch out the barrel. So you basically just change the upper, do it very quickly with the 2 pins, take down the gun, switch out the barrel and switch to 222 or to 300 Blackout, depending on what you're going to use it for. To take down the gun, it's very simple. Just pull out the pins, like so, 2 pieces. So you can easily clean the gun. You can switch out the trigger. I have a custom trigger in here. I'm going to put a link to that up on the screen. And you have here the straight pull. So you'll notice later in the video I'm using straight pull on the side, which is more like closer to a bolt action rifle. But here I've got it mounted in with the AR charging handle. So you can take it down. You could have this in your backpack almost if you're going to take it hunting. Very, very compact gun. To put back together, simply place these back in. Take your pins out. That pin goes in, second one goes in. I like these red ones because they're easier to find. The black ones sometimes get lost. Then just push those pins back in until you see them pop out the other side and you're good to go. So yeah, you'll notice on the video I have another bolt which is on the side. This is for doing faster shots. You can just pull back with the gun. Whereas I've also got it with a more classic style charging handle that you just pull back each time you fire. So obviously with semi-auto you just do this once and keep firing. This being a manual rearmament, you would do this and then go back again and do it each time, which is no big deal. If you're shooting out targets or even hunting, it's no big deal. Have a nice muzzle brake on here. And like I said, 300 Blackout is so versatile. You want to have the option to have it unsuppressed for your supersonics. I mean, you can shoot them suppressed as well, but you want to have the option to be able to shoot both your supersonics and your subsonics because it gives you so much more versatility with what you can do with the gun. I have here a Stellon. It's a Swedish-made silencer. It's actually in 2 pieces, 2 parts. It's mounted together. It kind of comes over the barrel, which is nice. Gives it a nice compact look. Very good quality. I really like this suppressor. One thing to note is, after you use it, make sure to separate the 2 pieces because I had one which was almost impossible to take off the 2 pieces after it's been sitting for a while. So when you finish shooting, when it's hot, just loosen it or even separate it so the 2 pieces are loose. Otherwise, they can get really jammed up. That's the only downside to this suppressor, but it is very effective. I really like, as I mentioned, both the caliber and the gun. I probably said that too many times in this video now, but you get the idea. It's so versatile. You can use it for so many things. It's got enough takedown power to hunt very decent sized game with. It's got a lot of fun you can do with quiet shooting with the subsonics, and also something I did not mention was also home defense. As a home defense weapon, this to me is perfect. It could be shorter obviously, but here we are limited by the length. You have to have a minimum length of barrel in order to classify to still be on a hunting license. Otherwise, you need to do another special permission. But in terms of defense goes with a hunting license, I think this is as good as it gets because suppressed shooting these inside the house, I mean, you're going to have no trouble. You're going to have no trouble with that. It keeps it very quiet. And again, it's fairly short, even with the suppressor. It's shorter than a shotgun and a lot quieter than a shotgun. And a lot easier to follow up shots as well. You can much easier follow up shots. And you can customize it again. Got light, prism sight. I'll see if I can take a picture of the actual prism inside, because it's very, very clever design, this one. So it's always on, even if you're out of batteries, you still have you're still zeroed in. So yeah, 300 Blackout sometimes gets a lot of misconceptions, or gets a lot of shit, if you ask me, in some of the forums. Like people like, oh, what's this caliber for? It's not powerful enough. It's you only can use it suppressed on a short gun. That's not true at all. This gun is very, very powerful, very, very capable of taking down some big stuff. So I highly recommend it, both the caliber and this type of weapon. I'm going to put a link to this gun in the description. It's a French company. They are custom made, so a little more expensive. I actually got this one secondhand. But yeah, very, very nice gun, very well made. Nice quality pieces they use for it. And yeah, it fits the classic 5.56 magazine, so you can switch out. You don't need to buy new if you're shooting like 222 like I do, and you're shooting 300 Blackouts. You don't need to buy more magazines because they're the same. So enough talking about the gun. I'm going to switch this out and we're going to go and shoot it. I'm going to do a few shots today just with the Fiocchis, and then stay tuned. I'm going to make another video which is a little bit more specific towards the hunting shooting, with the different types of hunting ammo, the FTX 135 grains, this Hornady Black 110, really, really impressive round. Super accurate, very consistent, very hard hitting. Definitely a good choice for your hunting. And also these Winchester 150 grains, they are very good for hunting as well. So let's take a few slow precision shots. I'm using full metal jacket, so it's not going to be that accurate today. I'm going to do this with the VMAX, which I found to be the most performant with this gun, in a separate video. Let's take a look. So as you can see, I had to adjust the first two shots because I was a little right, but once I was on, nice tight grouping with this gun. It's very accurate. You can really get some precision shots with this. All right, now let's take a few faster shots. I'm just going to shoot on the gong, and hopefully we don't kill my camera because I'm using full metal jacket. So let's see. So now let's shoot 3 rapid shots with this straight pull action. I have it mounted on the left. Again, you can mount this on the right if you want to have the option. So it's more like a classic bolt action where you take your hand off, rearm, take your hand back, rearm. In this case, I'm going to be holding it with one hand and just pulling back with the action. All right, let's go. So that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed watching, and hopefully it's given you some thought about the 300 Blackout. Definitely a round worth checking out. Ignore some of the mysticism on the intercept. Go try it yourself. If you know someone who's got one, go try it on the range. I highly recommend it as a very versatile all-round caliber to have. And that's it for today. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.